Hello, this is Dr. Melody Harris-Burrow. How is everyone today? I hope very, very well. Coming to you from Miami, we are going to have a wonderful program for you. Welcome to today's program. This show was created to equip nations and people with the knowledge and tools they need to improve, build, prosper, and change their environment so that they can effectively lead to a better future. Today's topic, the inhumane trafficking of Nigerian women. And to discuss, I would like to introduce my special host and guest, my special guest, Omotola Fawunmi, co-founder of Rescue Africans in Slavery organization. Hello, how are you?
I'm very fine, thank you, Dr. Harris. Thank you for having me.
Oh yes, oh yes. Our co-host could not be with us this evening. He's not feeling very well, but we hope that you feel better today. Yes, we have an awesome topic today. This topic is just, I've discovered so many things while researching before the program. And I have to say that you are doing such a marvelous, marvelous job. And our other guest was supposed to be here. Could you explain why she's not here?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Oftentimes, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry that she's not able to be here at this time. Trying to reach her, but for some reason, like I say, sometimes it happens that maybe we're not ready to come on. Maybe she's not ready to share. So let's give her that space and time and hope that in time she would come on.
Yes, and I told her if she wants to come on after, that's fine with us. That's not a problem. Let's get started. My goodness. Tell us about your organization. And what
thank you. Thank you very much. Once again, my name is Omotola Fawunmi. And the organization I serve and work with and lead is Rescue Africans in Slavery organization. What we know as Rescue Africans in Slavery organization started because we discovered that there are so many girls trafficked to various countries across the world, but our focus has been girls moved from Africa to the Middle East. And so many of them were leaving, or so many have left, and were trying to make their way back home because they were fraudulently trafficked. A lot of them were they were offered jobs, they were offered opportunities that looked like would give them the exit from poverty. So they were told they would earn about $2,000, $3,000, $1,000 doing what was supposed to be a job, but they ended up there being sold as slaves. Slaves who earn about $160 or maximum of $200 per month. And they work 16 to 18 hours a day with very little rest. And then they are also bonded in a slave contract. What that means is that they are required to sign contracts that say you would serve me for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Unfortunately, the details of that contract is in Arabic. So there's so much they cannot read. They're signed to these contracts, and on arrival, they're pleasantly shocked. Unpleasantly shocked, I beg your pardon. So what Rescue Africans is doing, we're working to rescue them, return them safely back to home countries from the destination countries, rehabilitate and reintegrate them safely back into society. The objective is also, in addition to those four, prosecute fraudulent recruiters and educate and advocate to those who are potential victims what signs to look out for when you are being fraudulently recruited.
So that's in Nigeria, correct? All of this is going on in Nigeria.
Yeah, this is going on in Nigeria. Going on in Nigeria.
Go ahead. I just wanted to make sure that our audience understand that this is happening in Nigeria, but also all throughout Africa. Yes.
Yeah, this is happening in Nigeria. Like the large team is in Nigeria, but we're bringing in girls from Lebanon, Oman, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, and then around across the African continent from Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Mali. Those are places we have identified currently. Girls who have been trafficked, and there are two types of trafficking. There's sex trafficking and there's domestic slavery. So domestic slavery are those who are sold as maids to work as forced laborers in homes or for people. For
Yes.
sex slaves, yeah, that's domestic slavery. But for sex slaves, their case is even worse. And we've had cases of, like one of our ladies we were able to rescue from Cote d'Ivoire was forced, was tricked, told she was going to Spain and passing through Cote d'Ivoire. On arriving in Cote d'Ivoire, she was told she had been sold to a particular woman. And that woman said, you now owe me 2 million CFA francs. And you would need to work for me doing that. Working as a sex slave, this particular lady had to sleep with 15 men per day for 2 years. And then we were able to identify and locate her. She found us online and we were able to identify and locate her sometime in December 2019. Found a way to bring her home in about 2 days before Christmas last year. And she's back home now, getting rehabilitated. We've placed her at a trade shop, I would say, where she's learning hairdressing.
Right.
But this trafficking.
Your camera, there's something wrong with your camera. We can't see you. I apologize to the audience.
Can you see me now?
No. Try to come in and come back out, and we'll probably be able to see you then. Yeah.
So I should leave and then come.
Yeah, come out of the link and then come back in. Yes.
Okay. I can.
Yes. Yes. I want the audience to know that how important it is why we're doing this show. I would like to show you something. It's very graphic, and it's not just men, women that this is happening to. Slavery is present in Africa. Slavery will continue if we don't put a stop to it. We have to start working together. And I want all of my Nigerian brothers and sisters to tune in and share this show, because I am sure that all of us coming together, we can do something. I'm from Panama City, Panama, but I cannot turn my head to what is happening in Nigeria. You guys are my brothers, you guys are my sisters, and I think that it's time enough for all of us to unite, not just Nigeria. This is not just a Nigerian problem. I want to show this picture. Look at this picture. This person was branded. And it's graphic. And I need you to see this, because I just can't believe. His name is Sunday Laborot, 32 years old. The scars on his face made by a Libyan trafficker who held him captive. He now lives in a shelter in Benin City, Nigeria. What we are trying to say is that the young lady that was supposed to be on the program today, there might be a possibility that she's still scared. There might be a possibility that might be overwhelming to her. So this is why I wanted this show today, because I think it's time enough now for us to really understand what's happening in the world, what's happening to our brothers and sisters in the world. And this is why I have this program. I've spoken to my brothers in Africa, in Latin America, in the Caribbean, to expose and bring awareness to what's happening. And I want you to continue, Omotola, because you were able to bring in 29, I believe, young women. Was it from Lebanon?
Oh, that was in March. We have March. A larger number.
Yes, now. March. I'm sorry. Yes, in March. What happened to those women? They came in from Lebanon?
Yes. Right now we've done about 150 between
Mm-hmm.
December. A lot of them have come in, thankfully. I mean, thanking also working with the collaboration of so many people. So we had the Lebanese government, the Nigerian embassy in Lebanon, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Nigeria, the National, uh, the Committee on Diaspora Matters at the Nigerian House of Assembly, and several other people working together to help us get these girls back home. So
Yeah.
it's really, I just want to reiterate what you're saying, that it is really a collective effort if we're going to end this thing. No single organization can do it. And even we as an organization could only do our best. But we
Right.
keep reaching out to say, you know, report a trafficker, be able to identify a trafficker, share information, let people know this slavery is still happening. Because some people
Yeah.
still think, oh, slavery ended 400 years ago. It's not really important. It's still
Yeah.
happening, and it's happening close by. So a lot of the girls who come in, what we try to do for them, take them through trauma counseling, take them through medicals, and
Yeah.
attempt to find placements for them. What job would you like to do?
Yes.
What kind of businesses would you like to do? What kind of, really get yourself, because why the trauma counseling is important is when you've been sold as a slave or being thought to be a slave, what happens is you may not really feel as a person. You see
Mhm.
yourself as a thing, as a
Yeah.
product. And
Yes.
so what happens is we're trying to make them feel like people again.
There you
So we're
go.
looking at things to comfort them, care packs to make sure that they settle properly. We're partnering and reaching out to a lot of vocational training centers to see how can we work with you. Can you help us? In fact, as of today, we had a fashion institute that took 3 girls from one of our from our team, and
Mhm.
she's going to train these girls free of charge on fashion design. So
Very
those
good.
are the various ways we're working on. We also
Right.
have another partner who's spoken with us about teaching them digital literacy so
Yes.
that these girls may be equipped to not only make money, but also be able to empower others. Underlining all of this is poverty.
Yes. Yes.
Poverty and lack of opportunities for economic prosperity. So if we
Mhm.
can build avenues of economic prosperity back home, our
Mhm.
mothers, sisters, and friends do not need to travel out in search of economic prosperity and then get enslaved. They get sold every day. As I
Yeah.
speak to you right now, I'm sure there are girls who are getting on a plane, probably
Thing
going to
going.
UAE, they're going to Lebanon, they're going to Oman, without any clue what the future holds for them there.
So this is why, okay, I saw on Facebook, this is on Facebook now, that they're selling them on Facebook for $1,000, $1,000. Talk about that because
Yes.
we don't know this. We don't know what's going on in Africa.
Oh my God. So that was a Nigerian lady who was put up for sale by a Lebanese, what I would like to describe as a Lebanese slave trader. And then he put her up for sale on Facebook on Buy and Sell Lebanon, requesting anyone who wanted to buy her pay $1,000. And then thankfully, a lot of people saw this and raised a lot of questions. We also saw it and said, look, this is completely wrong. And the good thing was by raising the awareness, which is the strength of social media, by
Yeah.
raising the awareness, the Nigerian government got involved, and it became a diplomatic issue between both countries. And good thing is the Lebanese government cooperated and identified the trafficker, took the girl who was put up for sale, returned home to Nigeria 2 weeks ago. She's been returned back to her state. I
Mm-hmm.
think the person in charge of diaspora in her state came to pick her up when she was returned to Nigeria. So these things are real. Just to let people know, these things are real. People are being put up for sale. And I just wanted to mention also that when people are put up for sale, no, when these offers are presented as job opportunities, they are never put up as slave opportunities. So what a slave opportunity will look like to you with something that says earn 250,000 naira working as a hotel cleaner in Lebanon, or let me say in Dubai.
Right.
That was the recent one I saw. And
Mm-hmm.
they say travel fees will be completely covered. You
Mm-hmm.
only need to pay 10,000 naira processing fees. You see, it sounds too good to be
Yes,
true.
yes. Because the young lady that was going to be on the show, she attended the University of Ibadan in Nigeria with a
Absolutely.
psychology and an anthropology degree. But she wants more. I want to talk now about what is Nigeria doing about this. I want to talk about this because, and I have a few questions for you because this didn't just happen.
No, it
This
is.
has been happening for a long time. And I want to show some pictures to my audience of, and I had another show of Africans, Latin American children, and just wives and husbands together traveling from Africa, going through to Brazil, and from Brazil, they come all the way to Panama. Once they hit Panama, there's a jungle that it's very, very difficult to go through that jungle. But I want to show my audience these pictures of these people from Africa, from Latin America, traveling, leaving Africa. They're from different places. They're not just from Latin America. These people are from different places. But you know why they're leaving their countries? There's no opportunities. There is no opportunities, Omotola, in their community. But yet we talk about how this is. Let me show you Nigeria. This is Nigeria. Okay, I'll show you some pictures of Nigeria for those that have never seen any pictures of Nigeria. Here we are. Here's some other pictures. Here's some other pictures. This is the situation. People need in their mind, I have to get out of here. I have to go to Europe. I have to do something with my life because I cannot stay here in Nigeria. Then you have the diasporans leaving Nigeria, coming to the United States, getting a wonderful education, which is the most beautiful thing ever. And then there's some that also going to Europe. These are the ones that are struggling even more than the ones that are struggling in the United States.
Absolutely.
But my thing is this, because you're also living in the United States, correct, Omotola?
Yes, please.
My thing is this, because when I'm doing these shows, we need solutions. We need solutions to this problem. And those of you that are listening to this show today, I want you to share this information. I want you to share this conversation now that we're having for people to know. And this is not just a Nigerian thing, please. This is an Africa and world thing. Everybody is leaving their country trying to come to the United States. And then once they get here, they see the reality of things. It is not the way we all think it is. When I left Panama and I came to the United States, I had to work hard to get where I am. But if we look at the situation now in Nigeria, it's very difficult. What is the government doing in Nigeria to help you and to help many others that are working on this situation?
Thank you very much for that question. That's a very great question. One thing that has come very clear is that there is a dearth of information. So non-profit organizations like us that are working on human trafficking and modern slavery issues need to partner with government agencies to provide relevant information.
Yes.
We need to partner with the legislative arm of government to make policies and laws that make recruitment or fraudulent recruitment difficult. So one specific thing that the government has done in recent times, and I'm talking as early as May this year, specifically in Lebanon, we said, look, a lot of these girls are leaving. Why is the Lebanese embassy in Nigeria giving them visas? Why are you offering domestic visas? And so one of the high-level negotiations that has happened is that between the Lebanese ambassador and the Nigerian government, there has reached an agreement that there will be no issuance of domestic visas anymore. That was effective May 2020. That's one step ahead. But of course, we can still do more. Manning and policing the airports, which are the exit ports.
Yes.
Strengthening and equipping immigrations. An immigration officer, how do you check, how do you identify a victim of trafficking? What happens when you see a trafficking victim? The person is a first-time passenger, a first-time flyer. The person many times is a bit scared, not quite sure where they are going or how they're going. One thing that's also come clear is that sometimes there is complicity even with immigration officers at the airport. Because when we ran through the data that a lot of our girls provided, one thing that was consistent, one of the questions we asked was, how did you pass through immigrations? And they will say, oh, I paid 50,000 naira. Oh, I paid 30,000 naira. My agent said I should have 30,000 naira in cash.
Okay.
Or 50,000 naira in cash.
What is comparison to 1 naira per dollar in the US? How much is that?
That's about 50,000. It's a little over about $150.
Okay, so the audience can understand. Yes, go ahead.
About $150 is what they pay as a bribe to the immigration officials when they pass. So that way they don't look at them, they don't check the necessary things.
Right.
So, and those are the government agencies who have the power to stop the movements of these people. So you see,
this is so sad. This is just too sad for me to listen to, because Felipe Armando, he's asking the question, who are the perpetrators and how are the people captured and enslaved? If you could answer that question.
That's a great question. Who are the perpetrators? Perpetrators are pretty much anybody, but one feature is that they are people that you trust. So perpetrators are family members, clerics, you have people you're very close to in the neighborhood who you've probably shared your problem about having an economic disadvantage. And they say, well, that's this opportunity.
Yes.
I think you will be able to get this done. Now, when that conversation is happening, let me use the case of a cleric. Let me use the case of a cleric. So a woman goes to her pastor and says, things are very difficult for me, pray for me, I need a job. And then that cleric, she doesn't know, is a trafficker or a recruiter. And he says, would you like to work in Cairo, for example? There are job opportunities there. You'll be able to earn $2,000 or $1,000. Sounds good. So what do they do? He shares the opportunity with these girls or the mom. He helps with processing her papers, gets her to fill the form, gets her to sign what I call a slave contract, because many times those contracts are written in Arabic.
Yes.
And then she signs. Now, one of the things they sign in there is that I will give you 10% of what I earn.
Wow.
That's one of the things they sign. So 10% of what I earn, if you have promised $2,000, that's $200, right?
Yes.
Everything is prepared. The documents are ready. The girl travels. On arriving there, she arrives at what I call a processing station, which is an office that actually sells or dispenses slaves. So she arrives there, and this person picks her from the airport. Okay, you're for me. I'm going to take you to where you're going to work.
Yes.
She at that time doesn't know she's going to work with someone. She thinks she's going to work in an office, because these jobs are advertised as, like I said, cleaners, hotel cleaners, sales girls, sales rep, clerks. That's what's advertised. They never tell you they're going to be maids. On arriving there, the slave master then says, welcome, picks her up from the processing station, like I call it, takes her home. And after working for 1 month, that's when she realizes that she's going to earn either $150 or $200 a month.
Right.
Now, remember, she has signed a contract that she would pay 10% of $2,000. So what happens is for 5, 6, 7, even 10 months, she's working very hard and just sending this $200 to the agent who recruited her. So she has no money. Their passports are taken away.
I was going to ask you that. Yes. Yes.
Their passports are taken away. The passports are usually in custody of what those I call the slave owners. That's the employer. And then the girls cannot even afford or pretend to run. A lot of our ladies who have tried to run. are beaten. They are traumatized. They are beaten.
Yes.
We've had some lose their teeth. We've had one of our ladies lose one eye because she was really beaten by her employer. When she said, "I'm tired, I can no longer do this work," working 18 hours a day non-stop, perhaps
But what is
serving
she
a large
doing for
family.
18 hours? What is she doing for 18 hours?
For 18 hours, she's cleaning, she's washing, she's managing a large family.
Right. Yeah.
So they get to sleep about midnight and are up at 4 a.m. to start working the cycle all over again.
Right. We need solutions. Let's talk about the solutions. For those that are listening, that can help my sister here, Omotola Fawunmi. She started, when did you start this organization?
In December 2019.
Okay. And it's called Rescue Africans in Slavery. Now, for those that are listening that might be able to help you, tell them, what is it that you need? How can we help? How can we spread the word? Because I don't know if all Nigerians know about this in the diaspora, because sometimes we come into the diaspora, we live in the United States, and sometimes we don't have the knowledge of what's going on in our country. I'll give them the benefit of that doubt. Okay. But the Nigerians that are listening, the Ghanaians that are listening, because this is all of us. This should not, and for those that just tune in with us, I want to show you this picture again, because when I was doing some research, I was just devastated, because this man was branded 3 times. He was sold, my people, sold 3 times. 3 times. How is that possible today? He was sold. Look at his face. He was sold 3 times. And this is happening in Africa. This is happening around the world. And the Lebanese government, what are they doing, Omotola? What are they doing? There's other graphic pictures, and I didn't want to show it because, I mean, I just couldn't believe that this is happening today. But I thought that I would bring this to my show, Love, Truth, and Peace. But what is it that we can do? How is it that we can help you?
Specific ways we can help. I would touch on funds. Funds, because we always need to pay for tickets to get the girls back home.
Yes.
So if you like to give funds specifically towards tickets, that's one way to help. But getting them home is only one leg of the journey. We're talking all sorts of reintegration. So, I mean, rehabilitation. So sometimes we need to pay for medicals. We need to pay for trauma counseling. We need to make, those are all funds. But what can you do as an individual is even join us as a volunteer and advocate. Let more people know that slavery is still existing, and we need to eliminate slave traders. We need to put a lot of attention on this issue. If more people are discussing it, and I say this as someone who 5 years ago, in spite of my education, was grossly ignorant about the fact that slave trade was still happening. I only got to know about it actively about 5 years ago. So our education may not necessarily provide us with the information that we need, particularly because it is a very organized, informal sector. I say that because sometime in January this year, when we're trying to trap or identify a fraudulent recruitment agent, that agent killed one of our members. So one of our team members died in January trying to track a fraudulent recruiter. She was killed with a machete. And that told me that the volume of money made from this business was so huge that they were willing to take someone's life for it.
Right. But the thing is, too, what I've learned to know is that trafficking drugs is also part of it. But trafficking human beings,
Yes.
it's a higher profit because you can take one woman and have men rape her 20 to 25 times a day.
Yes.
I'm not sure how much they're collecting. Are you aware of how much they're collecting? Some of the girls, did they tell you any of that?
Yes, they gave us 1,500. I'm trying to see how to convert that in dollars. That would be less than $10. Less than $10.
$10 per rape,
Rape,
per
yes.
abuse. Yeah.
More like $5 actually.
Five, oh Jesus.
$5, yes.
Okay.
And
So,
that's why they have to do so many.
yes. And now this is happening. These are more Lebanese than any
No,
other group, or there's
no,
different groups. Tell me
no,
about
the different groups. There's Lebanon, there's Oman. The rape issue, the sex slavery is happening across the African continent. So currently, as I speak to you, we have some girls who escaped from a slave house in Cote d'Ivoire. They are currently in a safe house that will keeping them, waiting till the borders open, and then we can bring them back to Nigeria. Now, all of these girls, when they come in, they're going to need so many things because they come just alone. So
Exactly.
care packs are important. Things to start their life. What business do you want to do? What trade do you want to learn? All of those things required. Then
Right.
even, like I said, getting them, the mindset, getting them back to believe that they are persons and not
Exactly. They're
things.
human beings. Because once they were being raped, they felt like nothing. So we have
Yes.
to get their mind back together. Just like the young lady that was supposed to be on the show, she agreed. She wanted to be on this show. But then at the last minute, something happened and she probably felt like no. And she's probably still scared. We don't know.
Yes.
We don't know because it's going to take a long time for her to heal from within. You understand? And this is why I work with women around the world. This is why I work with the children, because this is not just about women. This is about the children. My God. Tell me about the children, Omotola.
Yes. A lot of the women actually leave their children at home. So you don't even know who is raising the children. I give an example. This is about 5 days ago. A lady from a Ghanaian who is in Lebanon, who was trafficked to Lebanon, reached out to us. And while I was talking to her, I said, look, how did you come here and why did you come here? She says, look, my sister was sick. I'm an orphan. I have 3 sisters. One of them was sick. They promised me this job that I'll earn $2,000 a month. Unfortunately, I took it. I thought it was an opportunity. Auntie, as I'm speaking to you right now, that my sister is dead. She has died because I couldn't raise the money to treat her. So right now, I just want enough money to go back home and take care of my 2 younger ones. So that story is the story of so many other people, so many other women who are leaving their kids at home, and other people are raising them while they are trying to make a living in all of these countries.
Yes, and also I know last year the Interpol rescued dozens of children, child slaves from markets in West Africa as well.
Yes.
Police have rescued 216 or more human trafficking victims, mainly children from forced labor and prostitutions, in a major operation in Benin and Nigeria.
Yes.
So the Interpol said that the operation, they call it the Epervier second, involved 100 police officers across the 2 countries who rescued 157 child slaves, said the Global Police Organization, which coordinated the raids in early April of last year. Now, many of the children were working in markets, while others worked as housemaids, as you said, or were forced into prostitution. Interpol, the Interpol said of the minors rescued, there were 36 were boys and over 121 were girls. This is about organized crime groups who are motivated by money. They'll do anything for money.
Yes.
You know, so it is a challenging situation to stop them because they're coming from everywhere into Africa in order to have this, the women in prostitution, children in prostitution as little as 9 years old, 10 years old. I mean, this is something that we need to come today. We need to talk about this today, but we also want to find a solution. Please, those of you that are watching this show today, if you can give Omotola any type of information where we can get help for her, any organization, NGOs that can help her, please pass this information to us right here at this time. And she's also, remember now, how much are the tickets now when you find from Lebanon to it depends, of course, but what is the average? Because
the average is about 800, between 800 and 1,500 on average. That's the cost of a ticket back home.
Dollar, or is that in
dollars? Yes, $800 to $1,500.
So these young people are being, and women are being, and men are being trafficked through Europe.
Some are trafficked to Europe, the Middle East, Middle East, and Asia.
Yes, those three.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Because I know for a fact that there's a lot of African women in Europe as maids.
Primarily.
Mistreated.
Most of those who are in Europe is prostituting.
Yes. Yes.
Most of those who are in the Middle East, sex slavery and domestic slavery. I think I just wanted to mention this, that one thing that could help is if we all literally become our brother's keeper. We look out for each other. Many times when the traffickers are trying to recruit a victim, they convince the victim not to share information with their closest family members. So they say, look, they don't want you to prosper. So if there's someone around you, someone you know who used to be very boisterous, all of a sudden getting quiet and reserved, please probe further. That person might be a potential victim, and your probing may save that life. Another thing is policing. I mentioned that earlier, of the borders.
Yes,
we can do better. Airlines, for example, can provide one seat. If every airline is able to provide one seat for a potential of, for a victim of trafficking, it will go a long way. People can donate mileage. Miles. Those are things that can help. That will help reduce the cost of getting them home. When they get home, what ways can you help? We need shelters that serve as transit homes when they arrive. Because some of these girls were sold by family members, so they cannot go home. What we have done so far is to place some of them in, we have host families, people who volunteer to take them in. 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. So we've had to place some of them with host families. But there is so much that a host family can take. When you have a batch of 28 girls coming at a time, or 3 weeks ago we had 69 coming at a time, how do you distribute that to host families? We could get just like 15 host families.
Yes.
All the others have to go back home. Now they've traveled. Some of them have even been telling people at home, I'm in Europe, I'm in the US, I'm in Canada. There's a family currently I know. The mother keeps lying that the girls are in Canada, 3 sisters, but they're in Lebanon. They want to come back home. They're not able to come back home.
Wow. Yes. And not only that, though, but there's a lot of migrants that are going to Europe. Many die on the way. And this is, it's it really, really breaks my heart to see our countries in Africa, in Latin America, in the Caribbean. We need to fix our country. We need to work hard The governments that are in our countries, I have to say, most of them are stealing. They are stealing instead of helping their people. But I have a message for them. You might be stealing, and your children might have everything today. But just let me say this. You are not going to be alive for the rest for the next 50 years or the next 100 years. And your kids might be next. So when we're stealing money from our governments, it's like stealing money. It's like going into your closet and stealing your own shirt. This is not just about you. This is time to reflect. When the coronavirus appeared, I thought about a lot of things. God wants us to come together. And why I thought about a lot of things is because we were quarantined for so many months, right? Yes. And I think now that this is the time for us now to think about not just ourselves, but of the people in your nations, about your neighbor, about your sister and brother. This is not the time anymore to be selfish. This is the time to be selfless. Because how is it possible that you are the president of a nation and you're watching and you're part, some of you are a part of these crimes because you have a police department that's just participating, as you say, Omotola, in immigration and all of these things. Yes. We can fix these things if we all come together. The problem is that if we keep thinking of each other that you, my sister, is from Nigeria and you are not my sister because you were born in Nigeria and I was born in Guatemala and I was born in no, God did not create us this way to feel this way. We were born by God. We are powerful people, but he did not separate us. Man did. When you talk about Africa, why is it that this is just a Nigerian problem? This should be an African problem. This should be a Panamanian problem. This should be a Caribbean problem. This is our problem. And if we do not understand that, all of us are going to continue to suffer. I just had a show on Monday with the natives in Panama. There are six groups of the natives. And the only reason that they're separated is because of their culture. Okay? This is what I propose to them. It is time for all of you to come together. But I did not just propose that. I am going to work with them. I am going to let them know that when a president comes every 5 years, it's not one or two that they're coming to. They're coming to all of them. Because with unity, there's so much that we can do. When we are separated, and it was by design that we are separated, Africa shouldn't have borders. It have borders because of the colonializers. Nigeria, Ghana, Libya, South Africa, you shouldn't have borders. Your colonializers created that and you stayed with that and you think you're all different. No, you're not. Because the pain is going through the whole of Africa, the whole of Latin America, and the world. So what I'm saying to everyone that are listening to this program, I am suggesting now, put your flags down. Stop talking about how proud you are of your flags and take a look around you and see what's happening. This is why I had Omotola come to this program, because I want you to see this is about humanity. This has nothing to do with the color of your skin. This is about humanity, Omotola, because our children are being raped. Our children are being sacrificed right here in the United States. Our children are suffering over and over, and we are watching and we're not doing anything. So what I'm suggesting to all of you, Ghanaians, Nigerians, South Africans, take the flag down. Those are not your flags. It was given to you. All those monuments around you, it was put there by design for you to never forget who colonialized you. So it is time now for us to help one another, for us to support women like Omotola and many others that I'm going to bring to this show. We are going to bring people from Belize, from Nicaragua, from Mexico, from everywhere, because you need to know what's happening around the world. We have been in a bubble too long. It is time now for us to unveil the illusion of this world. And I want Omotola once again to close, and I want her to talk about what is it that we can do, and we're going to do it, Omotola, because I am going to help you to find people in order for us. We need to have a campaign in Africa. We need to have a campaign in Africa, Omotola, about what the Lebanese are doing and all these other entities that are coming into our countries. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mama.
Thank you very much. I just want to latch on to what you're saying, that a very active and vocal campaign is required,
yes,
and everyone can participate in this. We can have large media campaigns. We can have people speak at various places where recruiters also recruit. Recruiters recruit in communities. Can we talk in churches? Can we talk in mosques? Can we talk in various worship centers? Can we go to schools? Because these are the places where these recruitments and job postings are. We need to go online. But just like you said, across Africa, this note of warning needs to be loud and clear, that slavery is not ended. It just has a new name and has new roots. But slavery is still in existence.
Yes.
Specific things we can do. We can support our organization. We would be grateful if we receive any contributions and donations that can help us strengthen this work. Because like I said, we've brought in only 150. As I speak to you, we still have about 300 in Ghana. We still have about 350 in Saudi Arabia that we have not been able to move. And the numbers I can list for various countries like that. So whatever we have, what numbers we have brought in this short time is still a tiny portion of the volume of work that is still left undone. We can strengthen our institutions. Our governments need to make rules and laws that strengthen or that strengthen the labor. We need to strengthen the labor laws. We need to be sure that our people are protected. What kind of contracts are they signing?
Right.
Another place that we're not looking at travel agencies.
Excuse me, Omotola, your camera went out again. If you can step in, come out and come back in.
Okay.
Yes. In the meantime, according to Denise, she says, a profound message. I have never thought of putting down my flag. I am the first to claim Jamaica first, but you are giving me a lot to think about. Denise, I realize even Jamaica, even though these countries are independent, but we're still being manipulated and controlled by your colonializers. So I've reached to a point in my life that I no longer want to hold a flag up that's oppressing me. I no longer, because if you think about the education in Jamaica, all you know, you've been indoctrinated by the education of England. All of us in Panama, Spain, in Jamaica is the British. We have been indoctrinated. And when we talk about Africa, it's the same thing. We have been indoctrinated by the British, by Spain, by France, by all of them. And the education system is still the same. It has not changed. We have to come back and sit down all together and rewrite our history. No, not rewrite our history. Write it, and you can say you're independent. But if you are teaching your children about the Queen in England and everything about them and not knowing who you are, we are going to keep going around in circles. And this is why we are in the condition that we are in today, and we are going to continue to be in that condition. So it is time now, my people. And when I say my people, I am talking India. I am talking everyone to think about, because you were also colonialized by the British India. This is why you are the way you are. They're sucking all of us dry. And it's time now for us to free the mind and the mindset and create a different curriculum for our children, because you cannot be independent and still teaching what your colonializers have taught you. It has to change, you see. And that's why Africa is in such a mess, because you call yourself independent, but you're still wearing a blonde wig in the Justice Department. And it amazes me that you're wearing your oppressor's blonde wig when you graduate and when you are in the justice of court. It makes no sense. That tells me you're not free. That tells me you never will be until you rewrite, if you write your history, create different a whole total different curriculum for the educational system, because you still are being colonialized.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And with that note, we are going to close. And I want to thank all of you that have watched this program. And my sister, I love you so much, Omotola, because you are doing such a marvelous job for our young girls and our children. So I want to even mention to the organizations that's out there, even if you can provide whatever you can donate, and if it's not money, you can donate your services. We have I have a lot of friends that I'm going to be talking to, my colleagues, that if they can donate their services to these young girls, because I am definitely going to do it. And those of you that can provide clothes and so forth, call Omotola. Her information, let's put her information up, because it's important that they get your information, Omotola.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is her organization. Hold on for a second. And going to close it right now, Omotola. Going to close it while I'm looking for your information. Go ahead. Okay, I know we said that before, but we're going to say it again.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So seriously, I want to thank everyone who watched the show. I want to thank everyone who's taking time to listen from the beginning to the end. You have come here because this subject matter is very important to you. Slavery is real. Help us to fight it. Help us end modern slavery. Help us, eliminate the chains of human trafficking, and help us let us collectively be free. Like we said, everything about this is really about rescuing people and granting them a chance to freedom, giving them opportunity for dignity. I don't do this alone. We have a large army of volunteers, large army of associates, a lot of my friends, my people who do this, who will do this together. Right. And it's because of those people that we are able to make so much traction. We have people working as case managers for the girls, checking on them, following up. You could volunteer as one. Sometimes you could act as a mentor too. So there are various ways you could partner with us. We are open to so as many opportunities as possible. I'll be happy to receive any contributions. And if you think, oh, how can we do this better? Please send an email as well. We'll be happy to work on that.
Yes, that's very good. You just don't know. I really appreciate you. And there's so many people here on the line that I know they're going to help you. I want to show, I was able to pull up, I think I'm trying to get this picture of the young ladies that came back Yes, the work that I'm telling you, the work that you're doing, my God, is just amazing. And you are a blessing in disguise. You know, it's funny. God give us, this is your purpose, my darling. This is your purpose. And there's some other comments that people, Gordon, Oliver, look, Felipe saying thank you. There are many. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in today. I wasn't able to get that picture, but I will post a picture with what you are doing at a later time. Thank you so much. We love you, and we're going to continue to work together. Definitely. And I'm going to have you come back on the show again because we need to get some of the girls on the show. I know it's very difficult for them to be here, but I need them to encourage other girls that when they come to you, that these are not just things that you accept. Think about it, but because there's no campaign, everyone don't know about it. It's a secret thing because you mentioned that some of the girls that comes back, they don't want people to know that they have been in this situation, that they have been raped, that they have been abused. But we have to create the campaign. Those of you that are listening, please call me or you can call Omotola and see how we can start a campaign in Africa to protect our children. Thank you, everyone, for watching my show. And I thank you, my love. I love you, girl. I just love what you are doing. You are amazing. Isn't she, people? Send a comment, send some comments to her and tell her what a great job she's doing. Because sometimes you'll feel alone in the world. Let her know that what she's doing. Because I know you feel alone in the world because I'm in your position too. I'm doing a whole lot of stuff. And honestly, sometimes I feel like I'm alone out there until I hear this word. Good job, Dr. Barrow.
Good job.
They're listening. They're listening. Thank you very much. This is Love, Truth, and Peace. This is Dr. Melody Harris. Our show is every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have a Latin show, a show in Spanish, and that's on Mondays, every Monday at 7 o'clock. Thank you, Africa. Hello, and let's work together always. Thank you.
Bye.